It's playoff season. Just what we need as a diversion for the current happenings in this country.
But we're also a week away from Thanksgiving, so what else do we need?
Hey, look at here. I got beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lambs, rams, hogs, dogs, chicken, turkeys, rabbits, you name it.
The best coverage of high school and college athletics in Northeast North Carolina begins now. This is NENC Sports Radio Show on WRVS 89.9.
I sure am hungry.
Yeah, I'm full already.
And I don't need a lot of food. I don't look like it anyway.
I do. I know I said it.
I'm meaning I don't need it. You understand? I'm putting it, I am joking myself.
And I'm joking myself too.
Okay. So I'm on the same page here. On the same plate. Now, better knock out this fresh episode first of Northeastern North Carolina's award-winning show. You can tell I'm reading from a script. You got Malcolm Shield, sports writer for the Daily Advance, and me, Owen Hassel, Advance sports editor. We got an in-studio guest. We welcome back, because he's been on the show a couple times in the past. Since we're getting into wrestling mode, we got Northeastern coach Larenzo King. How are you, sir?
I am doing great on this very nice Thursday evening.
Okay. Well put. Well, obviously, we'll talk more with Coach King and lots more to cover on this episode. But for more on Northeastern North Carolina sports, follow us on Twitter. Also use the hashtag NENC Sports to keep the discussion rolling. You can follow us at NENC Sports. Then for me, I'm at OwenOBX. Malcolm?
I'm at Malcolm_Shields.
And there's more ways to stay involved with sports in Northeastern North Carolina in the form of a blog. Go to nencsports.wordpress.com for tidbits that aren't always in the Daily Advance, plus interviews and video from various Northeastern North Carolina games. I forgot to mention your Twitter, Coach.
Twitter is at Eagles Pin to Win. That's EAGLES PIN, the number 2 win.
All right, we'll delve into the football playoffs after you listen to this.
The WRVS 89.9 High School Game of the Week returns in December, featuring live varsity boys basketball games. And your business or organization can join in on all the action. Sponsorship packages are available now. Call 252-335-3985 and find us online at ecsu.edu/WRVS.
I'm a student athlete, which means I'm still learning.
I'm still growing.
I'm getting important lessons about perseverance, teamwork,
determination, respect, and dedication through playing sports at my school.
Mom, Dad, Coach, in a few years,
I'll probably forget a lot of the details, but I won't forget the lessons I learned
from the way you act towards my teammates,
coaches, referees, and other fans. What kind of lesson do you want me to learn? I'm watching.
Sportsmanship, together we make the right call.
This message has been brought to you by the North Carolina High School Athletic Association.
That girl is a real crowd, please. Small world, all the friends know of me.
Why are you guys just standing there? We got a show to do.
Thought it was a mannequin challenge.
Oh. No, it's just a good song.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's blown up.
Oh, it's blown up.
Oh, yeah.
And it's going to stay that way for a few more months.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I think.
I'm quite sure a couple of teams will be using that for entrance music.
Yeah.
More than a couple. Well, we got 5 football teams from the Northeastern Coastal Conference, and 7 out of the Coastal 10 earned berths into the state playoffs. That whole tri-champions thing with Northeastern, Hertford County, and Edenton worked out pretty well for the Eagles, Malcolm, because Northeastern ended up as the 1 seed after all in the 2A East, and can't do any better than that. Edenton's 3rd in the 2A East. The Bears, because of that, well, this is why Northeastern, in a sense, got to the 1 seed. Hertford County was going to be on that dividing line. We knew it could be 2AA or 2A. They were right there smack in the middle. Somehow a Hosky picked up 2 new citizens or something at the high school, 2 new students or something like that to put Hertford County back into 2AA, because last year they were 2A. So being 2AA, they get the 3 seed in the 2AA East, and that helped Northeastern, in a sense, secure the 1 spot in the 2A East. One part about that I found interesting, Malcolm, is that Roanoke Rapids, our good friend Eric McDaniels, former coach at Northeastern, Roanoke Rapids, great season for the Yellow Jackets, 10-1 on the year, but the one loss is to Bunn. Conference team, Bunn wins a conference title, they're going to get that conference championship seed. 10-1 gets you a home game, 9 times out of 10. Didn't for Roanoke Rapids because of that. Killed them.
Wow.
because Hertford County moved up to 2AA, 7-4. Don't matter the records, conference championship seed. So Roanoke Rapids is on the road.
Wow.
For the first round.
That's tough.
10-1. 10-1. You can't take that off your record there.
No.
Because it's a conference game. So that's hard.
Yeah.
You would like to think they could be a favorite. I mean, they've gotten votes in the 2A AP poll. I mean, obviously a quality team there at Roanoke Rapids. You're 10-1 once again. I'm going to emphasize that. But I just thought that was the more interesting part of the 2A, 2AA bracket. I do want to bring up another point, and it's away from football real quickly. Is First Flight, well, I'm all over the place right now. I got to get myself together because it's playoff season with football. We're going to go back to it because I'm thinking about, I got First Flight on the brain because we're going to talk a lot more about the Nighthawks too. First Flight will host its first playoff game for football in about 10 years. Because we mentioned Roanoke Rapids 10-1. Well, First Flight went 10-1, but they're going to host. Right. Just happened to be the situation. I think a few more conference champs went 2AA than 2A. But First Flight's going to be home as the number 4. They played the system well. As in, if you're not a conference champion, just win. Play anybody. Play Hatters 3 times. Play anybody.
Yeah.
Get those W's, and you can maybe get a home playoff berth. And that's what First Flight did. Their non-conference wasn't nearly as tough as Edenton's or Northeastern's.
They had Arcadia and some other teams as well.
And if they had played the rest against Dixon, might have won that before Lightning canceled that game. Would have been another win. So they did their part. You can't hate on that. They realized that's what you have to do. That's what they did. They're home. Bertie is in the playoffs in the 8th spot in the 2A East. Pretty much that was a play-in game between Bertie and Pasquotank.
And that's how it played out. I mean, you got to feel bad for Pasquotank. I mean, they got off to a great start, and they just couldn't get that one last win to get them over the hump to 6 wins and get that winning season.
Yeah. 5-1. Yeah. Got to get that dub.
Yeah.
Somewhere. Somehow. Some way. 1 win, baby. 1. Couldn't do it. Had opportunities. 4 of them. 5 of them. 4. Many of them.
Yes.
Pasquotank would be is that the 3rd straight year being out of the playoffs? No, it's got to be the 2nd straight year.
They were out 15 and 16.
Right.
Okay. They were in 14, I believe.
And yeah, so back to back. Either way, if you don't make the playoffs this day and age, especially in the 1As and 2As, it's been a rough year.
Yeah.
Pasquotank out. Of course, Curry took out. Started out 2-0, and we know the rest of that story. 9 straight losses for the Knights. Plymouth, number 1 seed in the East for 1A. Surprise, surprise. They've had that for about 35 years now. No, it's just been the last, whatever. They've subdivided the playoffs. Perquimmon's hosting for the first time in 07.
Since 2007. That's correct. And the last time they played, it was against Northampton West. Now they're going to be playing Northampton County, which East and West combined, I believe, in 2012. So that's an interesting twist to that little matchup there.
Yeah. That's probably not fair. Now you got to play the whole county?
Yes.
They're saying that's not fair. We had to play an entire county. Then Northampton's like, well, it's not fair. We're playing in a whole entire county.
Fair.
Well, your county's bigger than ours.
Fair point.
Size-wise, not necessarily people. So, yeah, that's something to look at. Gates is at Lewisburg. We thought Gates might have a home game. Lost their last 2, which Gates went from potentially winning the conference title to finishing 3rd behind Plymouth and Camden. Quickly out of just a couple of weeks can do that to you. Gates is going to be at Lewisburg, Camden at Granville Central in the 1AA. Gates also in the 1AA, of course. Columbia, Mesquite, Manio on the road. Games to watch, Malcolm, storylines.
I think it's going to be interesting with Camden. Can they keep that magic going on the road against Granville Central out of a conference that may not be one of the more stronger in 1A? So it's going to be interesting to see how they match up on Friday.
Yeah. And now I can sort of shift gears a little bit. I want to take some time to congratulate First Flight Boys Soccer.
Absolutely.
3rd trip to the 2A state championship in 4 years. And the Nighthawks heading to Raleigh Saturday. Going to face Chase for the title after beating Carborough 3-1 in Killable Hills on Tuesday. Cam Hill with 2 goals. Quinn Douglas the 3rd. It's not easy for a school in the northeast corner to get to the promised land. We know what that promised land is. A state championship game. We're not even talking about winning it.
Right.
Just getting there. But let me read off to you a stat that made athletics in the NENC great this year. And we still got football playoffs to play, so we could have some more greatness. I don't want to say the term make NENC great again. Yeah. It's played out. Just say great.
Yes.
4 teams from the Northeastern Coastal Conference were at least a regional finalist. Northeastern boys basketball, Edenton baseball, Curry Tuck volleyball, and First Flight boys soccer. And like I said, the football playoffs. Could have another one.
Mm-hmm.
If the seeds play out, Northeastern football should be in a regional final. If the seeds play out.
And you got to expect Plymouth. They're going to at least get to a regional final the way they've been rolling the past couple of years.
Yes, I think the road's a little bit more difficult for the Vikings this year.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, they've won 8 in a row. Now they're back to feeling like they're Plymouth again.
Right.
And they haven't had much trouble in those 8 straight wins. We knew they were going to pick things up after playing Northeastern and Edenton and Riverside. And they've done that. They've done their job. They went to Gates and did the job. Took home that conference title for a 4th straight year, which to them is like just a little trophy. Because we know the Vikings know what they really want and have received a couple of times in the past 4 years. Got to mention the Nighthawks wrestling team, too. Winning I guess you call it a team state title while you're in the individual tournament, Coach King.
Yeah.
And 3 state champions, if I remember correctly. For First Flight, doing that. So that started the year off quite nicely. Around the same time that Northeastern basketball was getting hot and making its run, of course, lost to eventual state champion and just a great team in Farmville Central. First Flight forever.
Yes. Not the other one. Not the other
Not that other one.
Yeah. We got FCC rules here. So.
Not the other one. But it takes me back to soccer one more time. It's safe to say there's a dynasty there for the Northeast corner that Coach Juan Ramirez has put together. So I'm going to throw it to you guys. If you think top high school teams here, teams have really shown out in the last 6-7 years, maybe even longer, what comes to mind first?
You got to go with First Flight soccer. I mean,
I just said that.
Okay.
No, go ahead.
Okay, outside of First Flight soccer, you probably got to say Northeastern basketball. I mean, they've kind of been at the promised land there past couple of years, and they finally got through to that Eastern final. So I'm going to go with Northeastern basketball.
Coach.
The only one that really sticks out right now would be First Flight wrestling. 3 state champions, coming off a year that they didn't pick some of the guys that they placed in the year before, and you had one guy that didn't place.
That's true, but didn't Curry Tuck win the conference championship?
That's a conference championship.
Right. I get that. I just think it worked out. It worked out that they had a few great individuals, so when they got into the tournament, I think that's how it panned out. As a team, Curry Tuck had more depth.
Yeah.
Wrestling is kind of different, isn't it? When you look at those, it's not as easy to figure out.
Unfortunately, yeah. If you got the numbers during the season, you have a greater opportunity to win the state duel, which I don't think none of the teams around here have made it past the second round within the last couple of years, I don't believe.
Yeah, Curry Tuck Wrestling got to a state final in dual team about 15 or 16, 17 years ago. Yeah. And that's been about it when you get to that level.
Yeah, but looking at the depth around the teams this year, I think most of the teams will probably have more people on the team this year.
I'm surprised neither one of you mentioned Northeastern football.
Fair. That's fair.
Why are we not looking at the elephant in the room here?
Yes.
What Coach Antonio Moore's done, and some people say, well, he gets all the athletes. It's more than that. Yeah. It's consistency. It's a team that has made a state championship in 2010, that has been to a couple of Eastern finals, that has been at least to the 3rd round in the past 4 or 5 seasons, at least. So every year you expect Northeastern to be playing right after Thanksgiving.
Do you think a lot of that has to play with the high expectations of the football program? And some people might say getting to the 3rd round and failing is a disappointment?
Yes. And that's the level Northeastern's put itself up to, whether right or wrong. You want those expectations, though. If you're a coach, you want that. You want people to say, hey, this is why we're the best. So Northeastern football, and we got to talk about the ladies. First Flight girls soccer got to an Eastern final last year and beaten Curry Tuck to get there. Has won a state championship within the past 10 years. and beat the almighty Cardinal Gibbons to get to that point. I thought they would have a parade down at Kidover Hill. If they had, I would have been there with a float myself. I would dress my truck up, been in the float, the beat Cardinal Gibbons parade. But it was like the U.S. team beating Russia in the '80 Olympics.
Very nice.
But people they quickly forget that wasn't for the gold.
That was just to get to the final.
That was to get to the gold medal game that the U.S. won. So this was the same way. Gibbons wasn't to win the state title. It was to get to the state title game, which First Flight did and won. A great girls team they had there, which I said was close to 10 years ago now. I'm getting old. But First Flight girls soccer, and last year they only had one senior. Didn't start. They were led by freshmen and sophomores and got to the regional final.
Wow.
That's not fair. It's unfair.
Imagine that JV team.
It's not fair. Yeah.
It's like middle schoolers.
Yes. Yeah. It's crazy. It's unfair. But that's what First Flight has, and First Flight soccer has just been their county soccer has been so solid for a number of years. OBX Storm, what they've done, and those kids, and we were joking about it in the office the other day, Malcolm, where they're coming out of the womb with a soccer ball in the hand, and then they're getting whistled for a handball.
Yes.
So
exactly,
they are having to go and right from birth be in keep.
Yes,
having to take a penalty kick shot that they stop. It's amazing what they do already in soccer in Dare County.
Yes.
It's just unbelievable how things go down in Dare County for soccer. Wow. So those are a couple of little dynasties for the Northeast corner. Coach, you and the Grappling Eagles, you're at Old Dominion this past Sunday. You got to check out a couple of former area wrestling greats.
Oh, yeah. We saw one of my favorite wrestlers, Josh Markham. Talked to him for a few minutes, see how he's doing. He competed last weekend with him and Tanner Stevens, who wrestled for Curry Tuck. Both of them wrestled at the Southeast Open last weekend at Roanoke, Virginia. Josh competed at the 133 weight class, and he ended up going 3-2 the whole tournament. Ended up losing his final bout to his teammate, Alex Mardigras. I'm sorry, I probably butchered that name, but they knew who I'm talking about.
We do?
Yeah. Not y'all, but But for him to go to ODU, I'm saying it give us an opportunity to show the guys, say, look here, you can do this too. You can go any further. And also while we were there, we also saw Jaden Cox, who wrestled for Missouri. He's ranked number one in NCAA right now, Division I wrestling. And he actually over the summer got a bronze medal in the Olympics.
Wow.
So the guys actually got a chance to talk to him, take a picture with him, got some encouraging words. So hopefully they can use that in their season as they go along.
Yeah. And the last couple of years, you've had some trouble getting numbers.
Oh.
That's continued to be the case. And you've been optimistic when the season starts, and then it's dwindled to where you're working on like just 5 or 6 guys. Has there been any change in that? Have you been able to get the numbers up to where you can have a full team?
Well, this year, yeah, we got the surprising number out. We actually got, I think the last count we had was like 24.
Oh my gosh!
So
now, how many in different weight classes, and how you're having to balance that?
Looking at how things might be, we might be able to fill the whole roster. I think it might be one weight class where we're actually missing some person. So
now, is it enough where you can maybe cut somebody with some weight and possibly do it, or is there a lot of cutting?
Looking at the weight management system that we had to follow, because the lowest weight class would be. I'm saying the weight class that we need is 106.
Yeah,
and the guy can't even get it below. I think I think it was 106. Well, not 106, but 110. He could hit the lowest weight he could lose. So that kind of puts us at a disadvantage. But that's one weight class compared to us missing 5 and 6 weight classes.
Yes.
So
and you're out of a dual meet right there.
Oh yeah. So actually, this year we can compete as a team. So I'm kind of happy about that. So the only thing is, it's just trying to we're mostly freshmen and sophomore. So we just got to get them adjusted to our system, teaching how we're doing things. Hopefully they learn how to trust us before our first match, and we can complete that first quad that we have.
Nick Golden surprised me last year.
Oh, yeah.
Coming in, you needed some big guys.
Oh, yeah.
And he comes in and just gradually gets better.
Yep. 30, he took him a whole month to get on to the program. He learned how to stay in his stance to a 3rd place finish in conference, and in the short time period that we had. I think we had about a month and a half with him.
Yeah. We're talking about Northeastern football offensive lineman, of course, Malcolm. We've written about him a few times. Yep. Nick Golden looking to come back, I would hope.
Oh, yeah, he'll be coming back. And also I want to give a shout-out to Coach Lawson and Coach Antonio Moore for encouraging the guys to come out to wrestle. That's
another part that's huge. I know there's been a little bit of like struggle trying to get that.
Oh, yeah.
But you can just get 5 or 6 of those guys.
Oh, yeah.
It's got to make a big difference.
Yeah, the way the guys that's playing football have to look at it is off-season football practice. You know what I'm saying it's gonna be opportunity for them to get faster, learn how to get balanced. Also, it's the only sport not the only sport. You have another sport. I'm not going to name it because they might try to think about trying it, but it's another opportunity for big guys to do something during the wintertime. You have limited sports, but this is where the bigger guys can learn how to move faster, stay hand in stance. Because I'm saying, if you look at wrestling, look at football, they're doing the same exact thing. You're pushing, pulling guys on the mat. Just doing it a little longer and a little fast paced, and you're out there by yourself.
Hey, what? 24 wrestlers this year. Mm-hmm. That's huge. I mean, Northeastern always making it do what it do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I tell you, it's not always easy to be king. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
But we got
It's not always easy to be who?
Wait a minute. We got a heckler on the line.
It's not always easy to be who?
Oh, this guy.
Who is this? What? Who?
See, you know, I was minding my own business, just riding up the road, eating my Lunchable, and I
excuse me, sir.
And I hear you guys. I hear you guys mumbling, groaning. Always easy. It must be easy being a king and things like that.
Who is this guy? Excuse me, sir. Who is this?
High school, get some love.
Who is this guy? Who is this? It doesn't matter who it is.
People is Pascal Tank wrestling coach Jonathan Sutton has come on the air to deliver a smackdown to the crosstown rivals.
Cut the promo.
I mean, I'm baffled by the conversation that I'm hearing. Great conversation, but I got a question for Owen and King and Coach King. How come I wasn't invited to the studio? Why do I got to hear it on the radio and call in? I don't understand. Is it that much hate against the Panthers going on in Little City right now?
Didn't you have enough going on tonight?
We completed that. We completed that, and it went very well. But it's about why am I here and you guys are there? How come Panthers weren't invited to the studio tonight?
Coach, you're kind of ruining the skit we tried to do here.
How come the Panthers weren't invited tonight? I'm shocked and appalled. Owen, I really thought we had a great relationship, man, and things were going well. Things were going up and up. Maybe the balance was starting to come in Elizabeth City, and it needs to come in. So what's going on, Owen? Help me out here. Help me understand what's going on. How come I wasn't invited tonight?
Look, when it comes to Pascal Tank wrestling, there has been a shift already. I mean, you already talked down to the guy. You already took his best wrestler, for gosh sakes. So what more do you want, Coach? What more do you want at this point?
I just really want the balance to level out. I just really want the Panthers to finally start getting some respect from the rest of the city.
Coach, you got like 65 wrestlers out right now. I mean, you got it going on. So I don't know about balance. I mean, maybe it's tilted a lot more towards Pascal Tank when it comes to the mat right now. So
no, I wouldn't say that. Northeastern has a great, rich tradition in wrestling. I'm a fellow Eagle myself, and it's difficult. You know, it's difficult with the transition of being at Pascal Tank, but it's a journey that we're enjoying. You know, we do have great members, so that's a great thing. And looking forward to do some great things this year as well. Just like I heard the numbers Coach King has, that's a great start to the season. And so it looks like we're going to have one heck of a finale this year in January. What do you think, King?
Yeah, January 26th. Yeah.
26th. Yeah, January 26th.
Season finale of Northeastern versus Pascal Tank.
We're going to scrap it up. Hopefully, you know, like you said, man, we got great kids out, a good number this year. Hopefully it continues to grow, and not just this year, but next year and years to come. So it's good. But Owen, you still got to explain to me why I wasn't invited tonight.
I tried to explain it before. It's ruining the vibe we had here.
I think it's a good vibe.
See what a Panther does to the vibe in the room.
Oh, hey,
wow.
hey.
Wow.
Oh,
that eagle just keeps poking the panther, poking it.
Oh man, that hurt.
Come on, this ain't football, man. It's a little bit different now.
When they walk low on the ground, we fly high like eagles.
Oh, man.
Well, unfortunately, wrestling's not done in the air.
Yeah, that was easy.
Hey, well, have you seen WWE yet? We could always come off the top rope.
King thinks this is a cruiserweight division.
Oh, man.
Well, Coach, we're glad to have you on here. Can you stay on the line? We're going to do some football predictions and get to a bunch of other things on the show. So we hope to keep you on the rest of the show. Is that good?
Sure, I can. We'll do.
All right. We'll be back with more Northeastern North Carolina athletics.
Keep this conversation going right now on our Facebook page. More NENC Sports Radio Show is coming up.
WRVS 89.9 knows sports. Hear the best coverage of local high school and college athletics with NENC Sports Radio Show. Thursdays at 7 p.m.
It's high school athletics back again.
Yes.
We're going to be with you every step of the way. That's all I'm saying.
From the press box to press row brings HBCU and pro sports to your radio Saturdays at noon.
We're going to talk with some of the top HBCU players and some of the top college players in the country.
From the field to the court, get your sports here on WRVS 89.9, your community voice.
This is Coach Spencer from the Columbia Wildcats, and you're listening to NENC Sports Radio Show on WRVS 89.9.
Never come down. It's good to be king.
We got to change this song from It's Good to Be King to It's Good to Be Sutton. Tom Petty would approve. Oh, that was a good time. Well, let's get to some Shamal now.
Jump on, get on me, all right.
Some Northeastern soccer players, they were a little shade on First Flight, reaching another state championship game. And it's true, the only club to have kept First Flight from 4 straight trips to Raleigh and fighting for a state championship is Northeastern. Upset First Flight in Kill Hills last year in the second round. However, Eagles, you followed that stunner with a loss in the next round. Takes away the mojo there. What I'm saying is consistency matters. You can't deny what the Nighthawks have done this year and year in and year out. And this is a relatively young First Flight team. This doesn't have the bigger names of some guys that are now playing in the collegiate ranks. Graham Smalley, for example, now playing Appalachian State as a freshman, showing up, doing some big things. I mean, First Flight's got some guys. So that's what makes this all the more impressive. I'm just saying, have some love for your rival at least once. Shamal now.
Jump on.
NENC Twitter shouts on the way when we return.
Discover graduate education at Elizabeth City State University. ECSU currently offers 4 graduate degree programs: elementary education, biological sciences, school administration, and mathematics. To learn more, contact the Office of Graduate Education at 252-335-3947 or online at ecsu.edu.
So Owen Hassel, Malcolm Shields, Larenzo King, Northeastern wrestling coach, and the new king of Pasquotank County Wrestling, that is Pasquotank Wrestling Coach Jonathan Sutton. I just wanted to say that to get the look on Larenzo King's face because I'm letting this thing ride as long as I can. He's coming hot and heavy. He came in hard right there. He didn't just come on the air and go, "Hey guys, I'm here." That's not how the Suttons roll anyway. We know that. They like to have a little bravado, a little entrance music. They like to do those things right. Entertainment. It's entertainment. Yeah. Come on. Work with us here. Twitter shout time.
Your tweets go here. Twitter shouts.
This is from @SamWalkerOBX. Of course, we know Sam Walker very well. Another guy who's been on the show multiple times. Always has great insight. Here's what he said. First Flight exacts revenge on this fall's NENC Sports nemesis. Well done. Yes, very well done, because Carborough has been a pain for teams. And Carborough will like to say, we're just a small town that's trying to fight hard. You're right next to Chapel Hill. Durham. Come on now, people. No. Okay, in a way you're small, but let's. You got a lot of people moving into your town, movers and shakers. You're not necessarily rural. It's a beautiful school, by the way.
Okay.
So when he's talking about, of course, with Carlborough beating up a lot of teams here in the playoffs, ended Curry Tuck Volleyball's run, which they could have ended some 4A teams' run. Ended up winning the 2A state championship there. Beat Curry Tuck in the Eastern Final, of course. Beat Edenton and Curry Tuck boys soccer in the postseason, and beat Edenton girls tennis in the dual team. Man, gone.
Yeah.
Carlborough, that's enough. Okay, what did we do? We do anything wrong? We just happen to live in nicer areas right here on the coast. I mean, come on. They're close to Chapel Hill, though. But I mean close, like they're hugging up on Chapel Hill. They're right next. They're making love to the Chapel Hill. It's Chapel Carlborough right next to each other. That's what I mean. It's
Gotcha.
Minneapolis, St. Paul, kind of close. Just trying to make comparisons. Well, we encourage all of you to tweet about NENC Sports, and yours might get put on the air. Just post your thoughts or questions. We'll try to answer them. Use the hashtag NENC Sports. Now let's get back to football.
NENC Picks of the Week.
Yay. Northampton at Burquemmons. I just said it. Burquemmons, like we said, home, first time in a number of years. An extra home gate, money-wise, that never hurts a place that loves its baseball and loves its softball. Hey, what do you know? Football's not half bad. 6-5, got that home berth. Northampton coming in with a 5-6 record. Tar Roanoke Conference. I don't know. There's been some time for Burquemmons to kind of soak it in. I'm worried they're going to Burquemmons themselves. Something's just going to happen when just a few weeks ago, we're talking about the conference championship going through Hertford, quite possibly. And that just evaporated in a hurry. Missing, just missing a few plays. You're a few plays away from some other victories that would have made this an outstanding year. 8 wins, I'd say. I'm hoping that doesn't come back to bite them here Friday, but I'm concerned it will, and that's why I'm leaning towards Northampton.
Talking with a couple of Burquemmons guys out there this week, they've talked about that losing streak in the middle of the season, and after losing to Camden, that they kind of got the emphasis of doing the small things and trying to do what they need to do in a tight situation. They didn't drop their heads. They finished out the season with 2 straight wins, even though it was against Madam Mesquite and Columbia. They're going to be a little bit more healthier with DeJuan Williams coming back. He had a lower body injury against Camden a few weeks ago. He should be good to go. A lot of momentum for the Pirates, and I'm gonna go with Burquemmons in a close one.
Coach Sutton.
I'm always a local favorite, and I'm going. I heard you guys going with Northampton. I got to go with Burquemmons. They have some great talent over there, and I think that great talent will flourish come Friday night.
Coach King.
I'm gonna go with Burquemmons.
All right. Madam Mesquite at Kit Pride.
Kit Pride.
Okay.
I'm going to give Madam Mesquite the opportunity to win.
Going to give the Lakers a chance. Yeah. Lakers having a decent year, though. I mean, I know they've beaten Hatteras and Crestwood and Columbia like 3 times each to get it, but love is a world. It wins. Talking about dubs here. Coach, what you got?
Coach, I'm going Madam Mesquite.
2-2 here. 2-2, 500 record.
Just remember, who said Madam Mesquite would win?
You're saying who said it first, right?
No, I'm just saying, was it the coaches or the paper guys?
Oh.
Remember, I want some love, Madam Mesquite.
Is it? Are you trying to infer we don't know what we're doing?
No, I'm just saying.
That we have not seen said Madam Mesquite team?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
We're on the same page, King. We're on the same page.
Yeah. I mean, are you saying if Madam Mesquite wins, they're going to drown us in the lake?
No. Maybe Madam Mesquite wins, they get arrested.
That'd be hard to do. That lake's only 8 feet deep or something? I don't know.
Oh, man.
Columbia at North Edgecombe. That's North Edgecombe.
I'm going North Edgecombe.
I'm with you. North Edgecombe on this one.
Now he's not a local guy. Now he's a non-local guy. North Edgecombe is in northeastern North Carolina now, people. No, it's not. Coach King, help us out, brother.
I'll be the oddball and say Columbia.
Okay, that's really oddball there. Look, I got North Edgecombe as threatening Plymouth to win. That's all I'm saying. I got them as a threat to Plymouth.
Yeah.
Can they beat Plymouth? I don't know, but I think they are a threat.
I think they were ranked for a good amount of the year, right?
Exactly. Manio at Jones Senior. This could be the last game for longtime coach Eddie Twine with the Redskins. Great guy, just high class. I've enjoyed getting to know him throughout the years. Hopefully the Redskins can get another one for him, keep him in for at least another week of preparation. It's a 4-5 matchup. Manio just missed out on a home game itself. That's a little bit of a trip. I'm going to give the little bit of the heart with Manny. I'm going to give it the heart. They're going to be as prepared as anybody. Redskins.
I'll go with the home team. 4-5 matchup seems like a toss up. I'm going to go with the Jones Senior.
All right.
I'll say the Redskins as well. Okay. Hopefully they play with their hearts and do it for the coach.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Redskins. I think I'm with King. I think they're going to do it for the coach. They're going to bring their heart and they're going to bring their A game and try to come out with just one more win.
Weldon at Plymouth.
Plymouth.
Gates at Lewisburg. The trend that the Red Barons have taken the past couple weeks, hopefully that week of time to heal will make a difference. This is another 4-5. That is another 50-50 kind of pick. Coach Matt Biggie's done a great job. He could very well be Coach of the Year in the conference. Although I think we know who our Coach of the Year would be.
Yes.
In the Coastal 10 Conference from these past few weeks. However, Matt Biggie has to be in that conversation. He's done an excellent job with the Red Barons. I'm going to give a slice of edge to Gates. I'm doing a little more of the heart thing again. I'm going with the Red Barons. Go ahead.
I'm going to go with Lewisburg.
I'll go with Gates.
When you get your mascot from a pizza box, I can't go with you. I got to go the other way. Got to go the other way on this one.
Okay. Camden at Granville Central. This is a 2-7 matchup, but the seeds don't really tell the story here. Granville Central was a co-champ, and I believe the other champs in that league were 1AA, so they got a nice seed, or excuse me, 1A, so they got a nice something like that to where they end up getting a 2. And Granville Central's 5-6. Camden's 5-6. Both teams played a tough non-conference schedule, played a lot of 2As, 3As, so they took their hits early in the year. Camden is playing as well as anybody right now in this corner. 4 straight victories. Come from behind wins with Burquemmons and Gates, and then obviously beating Creswell and Mad Mesquite. Not much trouble there at all. And you can't underestimate Scott Jones.
Yeah.
We haven't been doing it. We have learned our lesson. We have been a lot smarter about that in the last few weeks. I want to keep my intelligence as high as I could possibly keep it. I'm going to go with Camden to get this victory at Granville Central. They have been able to really do a lot with the option now. It's like it's clicked. Something's just worked. It somehow happened. And the way Coach Jones is able to rein in Brandon Underwood, to get him really focused. The kid's got talent. You look at him, you think, oh, he's like, what, 5'6"? He doesn't look like he's that imposing, but the kid can just leap and bounds. I mean, he jumps all over the place.
And the kids gravitate towards him.
Right. And when he is in mode and focus and not too frustrated, this team can do just about anything. And Coach Jones, every time he senses something out of him that he gets a little frustrated, he throws a helmet or something, he comes over there and just like a calming influence. I've never seen any other coach be able to do that with him yet. I'm giving it to Camden.
I'm going to go with the Bruins, the hot team recently. I'm going to go with the Bruins.
I'll go with the Bruins as well.
Okay.
Coach Jones is such a great guy. Yeah, I got to go with the Bruins.
Bertie at South Columbus. Hey, no matter what happens in this game, obviously when I start all saying that means South Columbus is going to win.
But
whatever happens in this game, incredible bounce back for Bertie. I can't say enough, and I've said plenty. I can't say enough about Coach Grantley Mazzell and how he has just kept this Falcons program together when it could have easily folded weeks ago, and a lot of people wouldn't have blamed him because of so many things that happened off the field with the flooding and it just a kid being in an accident. I think one of the quarterbacks, right? And it just thing after thing. It's just so much happening with Bertie this year, and yet the Falcons have found a way to get into the playoffs. Amazing. It's amazing. And just for that, you've got to think that just carries so much momentum in the next year. And this is a game that you can see some young guys, see what they do. If you're starting to get beat pretty bad, put some JV kids in there, get them a few plays, because you're not going to get this type of reps in the off season, spring, whatever. It could mean a whole lot into next year. I make it akin to teams that could say no to the NIT, like for basketball, but decide to play it. And that gives their young guys a few games to get ready for the following year, and maybe they're an NCAA tournament team the next year. Right. This is what it is for Bertie right now. And that is enough to say kudos for a year, a rebuilding year, but a year that really showed the toughness of the Falcons. Who's got South Columbus, everybody?
Yeah,
that being said,
you got to get a lot of credit for Bertie to fight the way they did. I mean, not a lot of people can lose their best player on their team like the Falcons did with Corey Sherry and still find a way to get into playoffs. Yeah. Kudos to them, but it's going to be a tough going down to South Columbus and getting a win there. I'm going to go with South Columbus.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's South Columbus as well.
And Falcons won a tough season ender against the Panthers, so, but I'm going to have to go with South Columbus here on this one as well.
Yeah. Fairmont at First Flight, the Fighting Jim Princes just keep on doing what they do. I tell you what, it's a great year to be a Nighthawk. Mm-hmm. It's been some good things each season. You look at just about every sport up and down the line. Obviously, cross country the year it had for First Flight. We went back to the spring with girls soccer. And now the fall, it's
been a great year for them.
It really has. I can't say wrestling. We already talked about it. Swimming, you name it. First Flight has definitely put its stamp on athletics in the corner. It's like, hey, you can't get much further east than us unless you're Hatteras. A little bit stuck more out there, but you get my point. First Flight is also having a great year with football. Nearly beat Hertford County. I mean, right there. I had them. I picked First Flight, and I was looking really good. I was looking so fantastically good until First Flight scores down 1. They go for 2. I like the call.
Yeah,
I still like the call now, even though they missed it. I mean, you got to go for it, because if nothing else, your playoff ranking goes up just slightly. I don't think it would have gone up much more. Now looking at the draw as it was, I don't think they would have. Maybe they might have gone up one more seed. Either way, they'd still be home. They're home. So the only thing it would have done was spoil Hertford County, give Northeastern the title outright, which, of course, the Eagle fans say boo-hoo. They would like to have seen First Flight win. I'm going to go ahead and pick First Flight. I mean, this team is really clicking right now. Jennings Baker and company, that they've got some running backs that have surprised me that I didn't see coming. First Flight.
A lot of people you talk about in the area when they talk about First Flight, the one thing that kind of surprises me is that they talk about the size that they have up front. Mm-hmm. With that combination with the passing, the throwing ability that they do have, I'm gonna give the slight edge to the home team and go with the Nighthawks.
Going with the Nighthawks, and it's had such an incredible run in just about every sport. So I think it's going to continue on Friday night.
First Flight.
Okay. Franklinton at Hertford County, one of the 3 Northeastern Coastal Conference champions. Hertford County, as we've noted, shocked the world when they beat the Eagles. And can Hertford County keep that going? Because it was almost like a little bit of a hangover. Mm-hmm. They played First Flight and let First Flight hang around. You can't let that happen in the playoffs now. Mm-hmm. And I'm still going to pick Hertford County because it's in a Hosky. I do think that the Bears have new life because of that win, and it'll carry over in this game. I'm just going to give it to the Bears.
I'm going to go with Hertford County. I think it's going to be, much, much tighter. It's going to be important to see if they get off to a good start and they'll be able to sustain that. I'm going to go with the Bears.
I'm going with the Bears. On this one. Such great talent down there in the hockey.
The Bears.
Okay. Wilson Beddingfield at Eatonton. This game might be the most intriguing of what we're looking at here for predictions, because there's a lot to be seen here. Beddingfield 6-5, 4 losses, combined 10 points. And now they have a common opponent, Southwest Edgecombe, because Southwest is in the same conference as Beddingfield. Eatonton took care of Southwest in the opener, and Beddingfield played Southwest just a couple of weeks ago. lost. So and that was a 3-point game. Southwest Edgecombe won that conference. So there's a little bit there. I mean, Southwest improved, obviously, during the year, so it's almost hard to gauge that one. That 4 losses by 10 points surprises me. They're a play or two away of a few things, and here's where the tide could change. Edenton can't stop fumbling the dang ball.
It's been a problem throughout the entire year, that and penalties. That's the one thing with the option, that with the amount of carries that you do and, trying to read and try to make the right play, you're going to have problems with the exchange. With that, it just seems like even with those issues, Edenton's just found a way to win. They know how to, for some way, outside of the Northeastern game, they found ways to overcome that. You got to think home field advantage is going to be big for them, especially the way their season ended last year against Aiden Grifton at home losing. I'm going to have to go with the Aces this year. I think that defensively, that's been their strength this year, is defensively that they've been able to shut down people. I'm going to go with the Aces.
But what concerns me is what happened against Northeastern to a degree. You can't keep putting your defense in those situations. Right. Really, the defense against Northeastern really just gave up 2 scores.
Yeah.
One on a short field, J.R. Walker scores, and then that crazy pass that scores right before halftime, Tyshawn Vaughn. So other than that, the defense was doing its job to a degree, but the turnovers, and you can't do that against better teams. And I mean, you get away with it with Currituck, Pasquotank, these schools, but you're not going to get away with it even against a Wilson Bedingfield. If you can cut those down to, let's say, yes, the option is going to allow for possibly a couple missed pitches, but this is November. That should be cleaned up by now.
Yeah.
If you can get that cut down, then yeah, there's no doubt. And I'm picking Edenton anyway because, like you said, the defense has still been stout enough to win. It's just I'm thinking possible second or third round maybe in Elizabeth City with Northeastern. It's there. I'm just saying it really quietly. It's there. But Edenton for me, nonetheless. Coaches.
I'm going to say Edenton.
Okay.
I got to go with the Aces, man. Got to go with the Aces.
Midway at Northeastern. Midway started the year 3. Midway is like Pasquotank.
Okay.
Started the year 3-0, finished 5-6.
Okay.
We got to make that comparison, Owen. We really got to make that comparison.
It's pretty easy.
Oh boy,
pretty easy.
I was waiting for it.
What? What do you want me to do? Give Pasquotank a victory? Ooh. I would have loved to have done that.
Oh boy.
I would love that. Look, I mean that seriously in the sense because Pasquotank took Bishop Sullivan off the schedule. Right move, because Bishop Sullivan turned into an NFL team over the summer.
Absolutely.
What it did, that would have been just absolute. I mean, Adrian telling Rocky it's suicide against the Russian type of situation. So right to do that, but you're missing a game. I would have early in the year. I would have called up Mad Mesquite. I would have called up Hatters. Hey, we'll go to your place. It's a home game for you. You'll get a couple bucks. We need a W bad. And you get that dub, that 6 wins. Guess who's in the playoffs right now? It's Pasquotank.
Absolutely.
I mean, is that too easy? I think I'm just being too easy with it. There's probably some other problems. Maybe you couldn't do that. But Mad Mesquite, Hatteras, Cresswell, those teams, they don't always play 11 games. Matter of fact, a couple of them didn't.
Yeah.
I know Hatteras didn't. They even forfeited their last game. I think they only play 8 or 9 games. So they would have been happy. You go down there, basically bring your JV. It's late in the year. Put a couple varsity guys in and get a few reps. Have your JVs the rest of the 3 quarters so you avoid injuries. Get your victory. Come back home. 6 wins. You're in the playoffs. You build for the next year. I think I just explained it too easily. That's probably what the problem is, and I don't know all the ins and outs. So, see, I tried. I tried to do that. I'm looking out for you. Really am. But nonetheless, Northeastern's in the playoffs. Of course, as the 1 seed in the East, doing Northeastern things. This is Midway beat Princeton 55-54. I just thought that was interesting to note. That was a lot of points there. But yeah, Northeastern's going to win this. It could be a running clock.
I think what's going to be interesting, Coach Antonio Moore's talked about it all year about playing both quarterbacks. Will he do it? And if one quarterback does struggle, how is he going to manage that? I mean, in the playoffs, you try to do what you can to get the win and move on. It's going to be interesting to see. He's been steadfast in it, and it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out early on in the game. I'm going to go with Northeastern, though.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Northeastern.
Yeah, I'm at Pat St. Man, but I got a lot of love for Northeastern, so I definitely want to see them go all the way. So definitely going with the Eagles on this one.
So that's our predictions for football. Lots of games happening throughout 8 different divisions. State's got to make that money.
Yep.
8 different divisions for football.
Cha-ching.
Absolutely. Plenty of that. But second round could be interesting. I mean, the one thing the state did well this year was avoid first-round conference matchups. That was the one thing they heard from a lot of the schools. We don't want to play a conference team in the first round. I know up here it was a lot of griping because you would put like 3, if not 4, conference teams in like the same quadrant with each other. So they're going to play each other first round. You're knocking everybody out early. This way has prevented a lot of that, which is good. I mean, you're never going to have that perfect system, but that's one thing I do like about this system. I've talked about some of the things I don't care as much about it on earlier shows. So it's just trying to tweak it. You have to tweak things every year. That's all there is to it.
Do you think that the travel's kind of balanced itself out from your perspective with the brackets?
I don't know. I think you kind of have to pick your poison here because one year people hear from school, that the state hears from schools, well, it's too much travel. Okay, well, we're going to do it this way, but you have to play conference teams first round. Oh, we don't want to play conference teams first round. Well, let me tell you something. Here's a fact. North Carolina is a big friggin' state. Big. I mean, High Point Andrews is in the East this year. High Point. They're in the East. Sometimes they're in the West. Sometimes they're in the East because they got to figure out enough 2A schools. And that's where Hertford County could go. Could go if they win. High Point. But that's part of what this is. It's just a big state. There's going to be some traveling. Midway, and that's out in the Dunn area. You got to drive up the Northeastern. Granville Central out north of Durham. These are travel. This is what you do. So again, there's just no real perfect system, but at least in the cases of teams not playing each other again from the same conference, for the most part, the state got it right. And kudos to them for that part. So a little bit of high school to talk about other than just football. Has some basketball starting this weekend. Curry Tuck first flight and a beach tournament of sorts down at Cape Hatteras. We'll get back to football because I want to mention Eaton's Keemon Bailey winning, speaking of the North Carolina High School Athletic Association, getting a State Performer of the Week award. Rushed for 286 yards on 15 carries, 2 scores, and the Aces win against Curry Tuck last Thursday. He's got the school record for yards in the season with 2,065. He's going to likely cross that 2,100 mark and then some, I would think, against Wilson Bedingfield. College basketball, ECSU lost to Norfolk State on Tuesday night. These teams used to be rivals in the CIAA before Norfolk State moved up to Division I. Vikings 0-3. Malcolm, you've seen Mid-Atlantic Christian. Saw them this past weekend in a tournament classic that MACU hosts every year. MACU's going to ECSU. They play each other every year. Usually no problem. ECSU gives them a couple bucks, wins the game big. You think it could be a bit interesting this year?
I mean, I don't know if they'll win.
I put you on the spot.
Yes, you did. MACU's definitely more athletic than they've been in previous years, especially last year, where you can make the argument that they kind of look like a bad high school team. This year they got some athleticism at the showcase on Saturday. It was MACU who attempted an alley-oop, even though they didn't get it. So that kind of tells you the type of athleticism that they do have. It's just a lot of pieces coming together. Can they gel and come together? You know, it's going to take some time, but they're definitely going to be athletic, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's a 10 to 15-point game early in that first half.
Real briefly, what happened to MACU women Saturday and this point thing that should have gone to overtime, but they looked and checked. Just tell them. So
it was, I believe, 83-82, and I think there was a timeout. And then all of a sudden, the scoreboard changed to 83-all, and then the opposing coach for Trinity College started complaining, and then the referees went over and checked the book. They said it was 83-83. They play out the final 27-28 seconds of the fourth quarter. Game ends up tied at 83. MACU athletic director Neil Alligood, on his own accord, asked the scorekeeper to check the book. They re-added the score, and it was actually 83-82 for Trinity College. So the Trinity College of Florida team ended up beating MACU in regulation. So obviously there was a lot of confusion. A lot of the players were, not particularly happy about it because they, thought, hey, we got another chance. We're going to go to overtime. We maybe could win this game. But you got to give credit to Mr. Alliga for doing the right thing and making sure that, hey, we're not going to try to do something that doesn't look good on the surface.
Right. And he got some praise for it to a degree and should have. He said, he told the girls, he said, you can put a lot of blame on me. I'll take it. I'll take that heat. I'm sorry. We could have done a better job looking at different things. But, hey, right is right.
Yeah.
And made the right call on that. Just unfortunate that it goes down like it does. Wow. What a great show.
Yeah, absolutely.
What a great show.
Action-packed.
Of course, we're going to close up shop because it's just been – we don't want to close up shop, but we have to because I'm about to fall asleep with the way the music selection I just picked. Follow us on Twitter, NENC Sports, ONOBX.
I'm at Malcolm_Shields.
Coach King.
You can catch us on Twitter at Eagles Pin to Win or on Facebook at NHS Wrestling Eagles.
I probably should have gotten Coach Sutton's before he had to go off the air with us, but we're glad to have him on.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, look at it. Now he throws a shade on there right, and he gets off.
They call that hit and run.
Yeah.
Show's almost over. We're good.
Well, obviously that's the Twitter for the latest sports updates, and pick up a copy of the Daily Advance newspaper. We almost always go beyond our radio time, so go to YouTube, search for either WRVS 89.9 or NENC Sports. You'll find all the shows from this third season of the program. For Owen Hassel, Malcolm Shields, Northeastern Wrestling Coach Larenzo King, and Pascal Tank Wrestling Coach Jonathan Sutton, it's the NENC. And don't you see,
athletes live here.
NENC Sports Radio Show is produced at the WRVS-FM studios on the campus of Elizabeth City State University.